Hi, today I am touching on how to list in the spring without having extremely wet and just yucky looking photos, especially when it comes to exteriors. But the exteriors are oftentimes really hard to capture when you're trying to list in March, April, right when that spring market's about to hit, and you're trying to clean up the outside and get the curb appeal ready to go, and it just won't dry up because it's March and April and it's spring, well, just before spring, and all of the water comes and all of the rain comes. And then, of course, we know the flowers come. But when you're not there yet, what do? What I would suggest and what I tell most of my sellers, and this is not always easy to do, but if you know you're going to be listing in spring and you know well in advance, then have us come out before all of that starts to get yucky, even if it's in the winter and there are just some pretty exterior pictures we can get. Ideally, if it's well enough in advance, in the fall maybe, we could have some beautiful exteriors done in the fall where we could capture those fall leaves. And then when the spring comes and you're ready to list, and even if it is a little bit wet, we can capture the exterior still so that it looks like it is right now, but we have those other pictures able to sprinkle in those other times of year. So if you know in advance that you're going to be listing and it's fall or it's winter and you know you're going to want to list in March, April, please let us know so we can come out and take those exteriors. That way we could sprinkle in those seasonal pictures to offset some of the really wet looking ones that we'll have when we go to list in March, April. The other thing I recommend is cleaning up the outside by drawing everyone's attention away from the yard and more to the house, because you don't want them to see the wet yard. So if you can set up some beautiful lawn chairs, some nice patio furniture, some beautiful decor on the door, a nice wreath, anything with color that makes the house pop, a painted door with a nice wreath on it to complement it, anything that makes the house pop instead of drawing attention to the yard is always preferred. So if you don't know, for example, that you're going to list in advance and you can't get those photos throughout the year before you go to list in the spring, even if you can, you should still always default to dressing up the exterior of the house as much as you can to take the buyer's attention away from the yard. So March, April are always going to be a little bit wet. Even if it's not crazy wet, it's still, the grass isn't going to look lush and green and pop right away. So the best thing to do, like I said, dress up the front of the house and the back of the house, all the different sides that we're going to take angles from. Paint the front door a nice color that pops with the house, that complements it. Get a nice wreath to hang on there and do some dressing up with some patio furniture, maybe a fire pit. And like I said, just bring the attention to the house and not the grass. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out. If you want some ideas for how to dress up the exterior of your house, like I said, to draw that attention towards the house, please feel free to reach out and let us know. We'd love to help.